Amelia told detectives.
They wanted to make sure that I wasn't I guess stealing. So they had to do this whole track record and contact him, make sure that he did give me permission to go ahead and pull this money out of the account to write these 2 checks out.
Calm, controlled, procedural. The detective didn't interrupt. He let the explanation stand. Then he asked,
"So why does he have to take $50,000 out to get you to hold on to when he could just transfer $10,000 over like that?"
Well, the thing is, at the time he didn't want to give him the full funds. So
right, but Gerald's not spending a lot of money. Let's be real.
That single question forces Amelia to reconcile logic with intent. This taps into reality monitoring theory, where fabricated explanations fracture when pressed for internal consistency. She hesitated, then said,
I don't want to say took advantage of him because he's a really nice guy.
That sentence is the collapse. She didn't confess to murder, but she confessed to motive. She thought policy would protect her. She didn't expect psychology to expose the truth hiding inside her own words. But the pertinent questions are who this evil couple is, what happened on July the 18th, 2018. Welcome, or welcome back to my channel. I don't have many followers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me. On July 18, 2018, just after 7 a.m., a quiet morning settled over a modest apartment complex on West Jefferson Street in Paramore, Orlando. The Florida summer air was already warm and humid when a neighbor walking her dog noticed something wrong and called police. Inside the apartment, 52-year-old Cynthia Stack and her 22-year-old son, Sean Stack, were found shot multiple times and pronounced dead at the scene. Detectives from the Orlando Police Department quickly ruled out a random attack. The investigation shifted toward finances, uncovering suspicious withdrawals from the bank account of Cynthia's elderly father. Those transactions led investigators to Amelia Bissoon, a personal banker at Chase Bank, and her husband Joshua Ramsamy. As Cynthia pressed questions about the missing money, police alleged Joshua acted to silence the inquiry. But cops were soon able to connect the dots and brought the couple in for the interrogation. Let's look into it.
Hey, they got those off you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I brought you some water. So, I kind of introduced myself out there, but I don't know if you heard me or not. I'm Brian Ferrer with OPD. This is Mike Mareshi.
Yeah.
Amelia. Okay. All right, Amelia. Obviously, you want to know what's going on, and we want to talk to you about some stuff.
Okay.
So let me start at the beginning. I'm gonna record everything this way we don't miss anything. All right. All right.
Am I getting arrested or something for something? Or?
We'll explain it to you.
Yeah, we'll explain it all to you. Okay. How long you guys been married?
It'll be a year in September.
Oh, okay. So you went to Valencia. Did you get associates?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Business management.
Business
minor in
management?
business, yeah.
You start your own business one day?
I'm a dance instructor, so
Oh, okay.
I'd love to.
Okay, so you work for Chase. Okay. How long you work for Chase for?
December will be 3 years, I believe, or 4 years. I'm not sure. 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Any issues while you're working at Chase?
No. I got a write-up recently.
You did?
Yeah.
What happened?
When was this, in May?
Mm-hmm.
I issued 2 checks for a customer, and I got a write-up for that because they weren't in the bridge.
Okay.
But other than that, I've been pretty okay at work. I have a good boss. I've always had a good boss.
At the outset, detectives deliberately lower Amelia's defenses by framing the interaction as procedural rather than punitive. By asking her education, marriage, and career aspirations, they create a conversational baseline where cooperation feels safe. This leverages interaction adaptation theory, which suggests individuals subconsciously mirror perceived conversational norms. Amelia adapts to what feels like a routine professional discussion. not realizing that the absence of immediate accusation is itself a strategy to keep her talking freely before resistance sets in.
I mean, had you been a banker for him for a while? I mean...
Yeah, so I've been his banker since I moved here.
Did you... Okay.
Since we moved here.
So what happened with these checks?
Nothing. He called him. I have the record over global security.
Mm-hmm.
So when they came in, they pulled like call logs, they pulled like cameras just to make sure like little signature files. Because I mean, it's still federal, it's the bank. So they wanted to make sure that I wasn't like, I guess, stealing.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to like do this whole like track record of contact him, make sure that like he did give me permission to go ahead and pull this money out of the account to write these 2 checks out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Do you still have access to Gerald's account? Are you sure about that?
If I still have access to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
I
can still go into it and look at it.
And no managers talked to you about access to his account since?
No, because
Do you know any of Gerald's family members?
I know his grandson who came to open the account.
Mm-hmm. What's his name?
I don't remember. I know they have the same last name.
Okay. And did you know him before that?
No, I only met him through the grandfather. And I know he has a daughter. His daughter's name is Cindy. She had called me.
She called you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did she call you about?
I think last week. Was it last week Monday or the week before?
Mm-hmm.
She had called me about her dad's account.
Mm-hmm. What did she say?
They had went into the branch for like a transaction history.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just calling me to confirm about the funds, about like what's going on. And
Cindy called you?
Mm-hmm.
She called you at work?
Well, yes, at work. She was at that branch at Americana, and they called me from there. So I'll let her know when I get home. I'll talk to her. But the thing is, like,
Hold on, let me make sure I understand. So she called you. So the branch that she was at called you at your branch?
At my branch and at my cell phone.
Rather than confronting Amelia with contradictions outright, detectives slowly introduce complexity. Dates, transactions, mechanics, bank policies, and account logic. This exploits cognitive load theory, which holds that deception becomes harder to maintain as mental processing demand increase. As Amelia tries to reconcile her version of events with factual inconsistencies, her explanations become fragmented and circular, revealing stress points without detectives ever raising their voices.
You said the text messages were okay, or would you say they were... What was the nature of the text messages? How many text messages did you get from her?
A couple. She was just asking me, like, where are the checks? Like, why are the checks not going back into my dad's account? Like, why, kind of that stuff. So, but I can't tell her what her dad told me, or I can't tell her, like, what the severity of, like, what was going on, or what the checks were for, or, like, I can only give her so much. I can't give her any information, really. And the thing is, the conversations that I've previously had with her dad was that, like, she's not, like, a good person, or...
Well, I guess my question is, why were you not talking to Gerald about it?
I spoke to him while he was in the branch that day.
Mm-hmm. What day?
The day that they called me from the branch stating that...
And what did you say to Gerald?
Nothing. I was just asking him if everything's okay. He was just like, he came here to put his grandson on as a beneficiary, which I've been trying to have him do for a long time.
Wait a minute. Put his grandson on as a beneficiary?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that, so if something happened to Gerald, he gets all the money?
Yes.
But he didn't want to give him $50,000?
He didn't want to give him the funds right then and there.
And this is where I get lost. I mean, follow me here. So he comes in, open an account, and he transfers $10,000 over, right?
Yes.
So why does he have to take $50,000 out to get to you to hold on to when he could just transfer $10,000 over like that?
But the thing is, at the time of, he didn't want to give him the full funds. So
right, but Gerald's not spending a lot of money. Let's be real. I looked at his account. He's not spending a lot of money, right? No. So he can leave 50. He's got well more than 50,000 in there, right? Mm-hmm. So he can leave 50,000 in there.
Mm-hmm.
Detectives dismantle Amelia's explanations not by calling them lies, but by demonstrating how they fail basic financial logic. This taps into reality monitoring theory, which distinguishes between genuine memories and fabricated accounts based on sensory detail and logical coherence. Amelia's story lacks internally consistent reasoning, especially regarding why money had to be held at all, causing her credibility to erode naturally under scrutiny rather than accusation.
And not spend it. He doesn't. It's not like he's spending money like it's going out of style.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't have to give you money to hold on to, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense.
But that's what he did, though.
No, but here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen, Amelia, listen. Okay. At a certain point in time, we have to move past it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice guy, and I'm sure you really do care about him.
I do.
Do you see now?
Mm-hmm. But it's not like I don't want to make it... Okay.
Mm-mm. No.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take advantage of that old man?
I didn't take advantage. Yes.
Then let's get it right, okay?
But I don't want to say I took advantage of him, no.
What did you do then?
I don't want to say I took advantage of him, because he's a really nice guy.
Yeah?
When detectives push Amelia to articulate whether she took advantage of Gerald, they trap her in a moral binary. This reflects self-concept maintenance theory, which posits that individuals will admit partial wrongdoing to preserve a self-image as not fully bad. Amelia's admission to elder exploitation is an attempt to relieve psychological tension while maintaining moral distance from violence, unaware that this confession collapses her ethical firewall.
I think you need to start understanding something, okay? I think you need to start understanding the severity of the situation. All right. Because I don't know if you really do. All right. And I think you need to start understanding that how this interview goes and what decisions you make here are going to affect your life for a long, long, long time. Okay. I think you think that you had this all planned out. And I think and again, not saying it in a bad way, but this is what we do. Okay. When we make mistakes, we figure things out and go, okay, all right, there's a lot more going on here. All right. And you know whose name is all over this right now? You. All right. And Joshua. Okay? So if there's things that are going on and it's not you or Joshua, you need to start thinking real hard and real fast, okay? Who is involved in this and what happened, okay?
That's all I know.
Okay. Things got out of hand, okay? This got out of hand. I think what happened was Cindy was asking you for this money back and you didn't have it. And there's some issues there, okay? And things get out of hand. Sometimes, again, when we make a mistake, we do something wrong and the ball gets rolling and we can't stop it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Listen, you have your whole life ahead of you.
I know.
You have a 7-year-old son.
That's right.
Well, no, no, listen to me for a second. This is reality now, okay? All right?
Yeah.
You have a 7-year-old son. You have an obligation to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So whatever happened beyond this, all right? We need to know, because right now we need to know. Because if you want to keep going with what you're telling us, okay, then we're going to have to go on that, all right? And you have to understand.
Yeah. Okay.
So somebody did something, we need to know now. You can't wait till later on. Okay? So tell me what happened. Who did you talk to about this? Who did you tell about Cindy not stopping? Because she was continuing calling you, you're saying. Who did you talk to about it? She
called me. She wasn't continuing.
Okay, who did you talk to about it besides Josh?
My husband's the only one that knows.
Did Josh do something that he wasn't supposed to do?
Not that I know of.
At a critical point, detectives explicitly describe long-term consequences: prison, separation from her child, irreversible outcomes, without issuing direct threats. This uses prospect theory, which shows that people are more motivated to avoid losses than to secure gains. By shifting Amelia's focus from present discomfort to future devastation, detectives force her into a risk assessment mode, where cooperation begins to appear as the only rational option.
Relationship with Joshua.
I mean, we fight a lot.
Has he ever put his hands on you?
He has.
Okay. When was the last time?
Like nothing crazy, like 2 weeks ago.
What happened 2 weeks ago?
I went out with a few friends, and I guess someone texted me, and he flipped out because he didn't know who the person was. And...
Does he have the code to your phone where he looks through it, or do you have the code to his phone? What's his code?
It's either 040506. He has more numbers than me, or 00000.
Okay.
Sometimes I just use my finger.
Do you ever is there ever like trust issues where he goes through your phone to look for stuff like that? How often does that happen?
This is only recently.
Okay.
That he's been kind of on my tail.
Has his behavior changed recently? No. Has he ever threatened to kill you? Have you ever seen any violent tendencies other than
He gets really angry.
Okay.
He like yells.
What happens when he gets really angry?
I mean, he yells really loud. He like punches stuff like the wall. So yeah.
And are we safe to assume that Julian's the most important person in your life?
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, so he drove your car today for what reason?
He took my car today to work.
Okay, why did he do that?
I don't know. He just took it. Well, we've been switching back and
Okay.
forth. So
All right.
today he just decided to take my car, and I was like, okay, I'll just drive yours because I'm just running errands today.
Did you ever talk with him about these inquiries that you were getting from Cindy?
Yeah.
Okay, so he knew that they were asking about it.
No, he knew. He knew about it.
Well,
he knew about the situation in general.
What was his response to it? What was he saying when you told him, hey, Cindy's asking questions about this?
I think he was just like, why? Like, what does she want to know? And he's normally there when I talk to her sometimes. So.
But I would imagine, like, for two people like you that have never been in trouble in your lives, that's going to cause you some stress, wouldn't it? Because, like, hey, did she ever say that she was going to call the police or call Chase or make any threats about that?
Rather than accusing Joshua directly, detectives ask Amelia to describe his behavior. Anger, gun ownership, volatility. This draws on attribution theory, allowing Amelia to assign casualty herself. When suspects reach conclusions independently, they experience them as internally valid rather than externally imposed. Amelia begins constructing a narrative where Joshua appears capable of violence without being explicitly accused.
Well, this is the stuff we need to know. Listen, if he put you up to it, he put you up to it. That's okay. You need to know these things, though. Again, like Detective Moretti said, I think you're kind of at this crossroads right now, okay? You've got Josh, who you probably love, and he's your husband, okay? But you also have Julian. And you got to picture that little boy. You got to picture not being able to watch him grow up. Think about that for a second. Think about being put somewhere very far away from him, and the only way you're going to have contact with him is through letters. You're going to get pictures in jail, in prison, of your little boy growing up. That's your future. He's going to grow up with his grandparents, maybe? Who knows? Maybe Matthew's grandparents, maybe Matthew's parents, maybe somebody else will try and take him away from them. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. No, we're not saying we're going to take your kids away from you, okay? Now's the time, all right? You got to start thinking long and hard who you have loyalty to. If Josh screwed up, he screwed up. That's not on you. But anything you know about that, we need to know about. He messed this up. He did this. He did this. And I don't want to go in there and have him tell me that you told him to go do it. Do you understand this? This whole thing. I'm talking about everything. We can't do this anymore. Now's the time. Tell us what he did. So you can look at your son and say, I did the right thing in the end. What did he do? We need to know.
I don't want to go to jail. I don't
Tell
want
us, listen, you have to trust us. Okay?
I don't want to get in trouble for
We know
any
you
of
didn't
this.
do this. We know
I
you
don't want to
didn't.
get in trouble for any of this.
What did he do?
Nothing to do with
What did
me.
he do?
I don't know the severity of what he did,
What did he do?
but he knows the relationship that I have with Mr. Stack. He knows that. I mean, I would take him food, like,
Listen to me.
so at a point it would
Detectives position Amelia between two identities, wife and mother. This creates a psychological fracture explained by role conflict theory, where incompatible obligations demand a choice. By repeatedly invoking her son's future while subtly suggesting Joshua may deflect blame, detectives destabilize Amelia's allegiance. The interrogation becomes less about truth and more about which identity she is willing to sacrifice.
he would get upset with me that like I'm too nice, that I can't kind of act with my customers, but he's the old guy. He has no family. He has nobody, like nobody. And I guess he started to get upset that why are you letting your feelings at work push you out, kind of like, and make you react outside. And I mean, I talked to him because, as my husband. I talked to him.
Did Josh say that you kind of were owed this money because you were taking care of this guy?
I don't know if he said that, but
Something like that? What did he tell you?
I don't want to get in trouble. I didn't do anything.
Okay. We need to know. Well, then tell us, okay? Tell us.
I don't want to say. I don't know what he did. That.
What do you? Okay. What do you think he did?
I don't think he did anything.
They're both dead.
What?
Yeah. They're dead. So now we really need to talk. Okay?
How did they die?
They were murdered.
Where?
I want to go back. Again. I just want to really make sure we understand each other. 'Cause, again, just certain things that don't make any sense when they get lost. I'm trying to understand this, okay?
Mm-hmm. They asked me at work, why didn't he come inside?
And when you went to Gerald's house after that, you went and told him to say, hey.
No. This is a conversation we had previously. So he was like, I told him that, because you have to sign these documents. So I had to tell Global Security. They asked me, like, where
Did you sign his signature? Let's.
Oh, no.
Listen, I looked at those. That does not look like his signature.
No, I didn't.
Who signed him?
He did. That I did not. No.
The delayed revelation that Cynthia and Sean are dead is intentional. This aligns with crisis theory, which explains how sudden traumatic information temporarily disrupts defensive cognition. The shock fractures Amelia's mental script, forcing genuine emotional response and reducing her ability to maintain deception. From this point forward, her statements are reactive rather than strategic.
When the SWAT team hit your house, we're collecting evidence. Let me just tell you right now, just so you know, okay, if we find out that you knew about this murder, contributed to it anyway, knew about it before or after it happened, you're going to be charged with first-degree murder, and that is life in prison, even if you didn't pull the trigger, okay? So what Detective Ferreira has been more than patient with you talking to you about is, don't let us leave the room with you holding something back. Because if the evidence shows it, and somebody plays this tape for people that are going to decide what's going to happen to you in the future and the relationship you're going to have with your son, and they're going to sit in there and they're going to, that woman sat there and lied to Detective Ferreira for hours and hours, knowing what had happened. And that is going to compound this issue. I know you don't want to get into trouble. It's too late for that, okay? It's too late for that. You were right in this thing. We firmly believe that you didn't go over there and kill these people. We'll be perfectly honest with you. That's not what we think. But if the evidence shows that you knew about it ahead of time, if you provided your husband with their address even.
How did Josh get their home address?
Well, I'm not too sure. He had their phone number.
How did he get their phone number?
My cell phone.
You gave it to him?
I gave him their phone number. He has access to my phone.
Okay. Did you let him look at your phone so you get the phone number?
He takes my phone all the time. I have them saved under their names.
So why did he take your phone to look for their phone number?
Because he knew they were calling. I don't think he
was
looking for their phone number.
He knew they were calling. What were you telling him about why they were calling?
What was I telling him?
Listen, again, like he's saying, this doesn't just... Whatever volatile relationship you have with Josh, however it is or whatever, you two conspired to take this money from this man, okay? So when a family member, like he said, I don't know how many more times we're going to say it, when a family member comes and starts saying, I need, listen, this isn't a one-time phone call. This is multiple times. She's calling you multiple times, okay? You called her. We see it. We know this.
No, of course,
you called Sean. You dropped Sean off near his house. You know what? You opened his account. You know where he lives.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't give Josh their address.
Somehow or other he winds up over there. How does he get over there?
I have no clue. I didn't give him the address.
Detectives repeatedly reference how others will view this interview. Jurors, prosecutors, people watching the tape later. This tactic is rooted in impression management theory, which highlights how individuals alter behavior when anticipating judgment by a future audience. Amelia is no longer just speaking to detectives. She is speaking to an imagined courtroom, increasing anxiety and self-monitoring.
You have absolutely no knowledge whatsoever of where this money is right now, if there's anything left or where it is.
No.
Okay. Well, Josh is here, okay, and you're at least going to have to stay here till we're done talking with him.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want anything to eat? We got a snack bar down there.
I'm not hungry. My
Okay.
stomach is just...
If you do, just knock on the door. Okay.
Can I use the restroom?
Bathroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get somebody to use it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I done or?
Well, we have some more talking to do.
Oh, with him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, phew, talk to him. Please, 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 please.
We'll be back.
Okay, it's completely
Anything else?
fine.
No.
Okay, the time is now approximately 28 hours. That concludes this interview.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Will I be able to go home later today or no?
We're gonna have to see. We're interested in seeing what Josh says.
So depending on his conversation with him.
Not his. The problem is that issued for your arrest.
Me?
Yes, for the theft.
Oh,
All the stuff having to do with the theft.
okay.
What I would tell you is that don't be as concerned about what's going to happen to you today as what's going to happen to you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
So meaning I'm not going home.
Probably not. But
So meaning I'm going to jail.
there's a difference between jail and prison. Okay. In jail, you will have a bond and your parents will be able to bond you out. Okay. If down the line and a first degree murder charge rolls up against you, okay, that means prison and that means years.
Why
So
would
that's
I
what
be? Whoa.
That's what I said. You have to be more concerned about what's going to happen to you down the road than what's going to happen to you today. You got to be held. There's going to be consequences. I mean, you, like I said, we could call it whatever you want, but the bottom line is you and your husband stole $50,000. Okay.
And it's not like it's $100, $200, even like $5,000.
Yeah.
$50,000 is a lot of money.
And you're in the banking business. Somebody's got to be held responsible if they steal $50,000. That's not something you can just walk away from. And you really don't have the ability to pay it back. I mean, that's the other issue. You don't have $50,000 in the bank right now to pay this guy back. And the thing is, unless Josh tells us, or I don't know what he's going to tell us about the money, but it could be gone. Or he could have some of it stashed away and so some of it could come back. But yeah, I mean, you got to understand, you got to wrap your head around the fact that, okay, yeah, you're going to be held criminally responsible for stealing that money. But now what happens with these murders is really dependent upon other things.
Finally, detectives emphasize immediacy, now or never. This exploits decision fatigue theory, where prolonged stress reduces resistance and increases impulsive choices. By framing silence as an active, damaging decision, they remove Amelia's ability to delay. The interrogation corner is complete, not through aggression, but through psychological inevitability.
I know you got the leg problem.
Yeah. Watch, phone, keys, badge holder. Cool.
And just for safety reasons, we just got to make sure there isn't anything else here.
No,
All right.
that's cool. I understand. Don't worry. They call me Cheddar Bob all the time.
Cheddar Bob.
Yeah.
What's that from?
From
8 Mile.
What's it from again?
8 Mile.
8 Mile.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because he did shoot himself.
himself.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's right. That's dirty. Man.
Yeah. There we go. Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. We're watching on camera, so if you need something, we'll know.
That's cool.
Hey, buddy, you gonna go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take care of that. Just real quick, you're not gonna be able to wash your hands or anything, but we'll
That's
take you in
cool.
there. I'm gonna have to stand in there with you.
That's cool.
Just let you know. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the way the procedure goes. And, who brought you on? Oh, thanks.
Hey, how you doing?
Josh?
Yeah.
Cold?
It is cold in
Well, that
there.
water's a little warm, so that might warm you up a little bit.
Yeah, it's cold.
Doing all right, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, they got you to the bathroom, right?
Mhm.
Okay. You wash your hands?
No.
No? I was gonna say I'll give you one of these then.
Yeah.
Detective Ferrer. This is
Yeah, they
Detective
told me not to
Ferrer.
wash my hands.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. You're one of those. Yeah. All right.
So Josh had a pretty harrowing thing with the Ocoee Police Department a couple of weeks ago.
No, that was on Tuesday, I think, last week.
Yeah, we actually were sitting in here. We heard that because they sent out a signal 43, which goes everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess the kid tried to run the cop over.
Yeah. As soon as I dropped my son to school, I turned the corner and I heard 3 shots, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" He tried to hit my car, and I was like, "All right." I followed him around the corner, and then
Good
I
for
guess
you.
but it was a good thing because my neighbor, his name was Travis, he worked for a Ocoee Police Department. So.
Yeah.
Detectives begin by allowing informal conversation, jokes, bathroom breaks, small talks. before introducing any substantive pressure. This leverages behavioral baseline theory, which holds that investigators must first observe how a subject speaks, moves, and responds when not under threat. By establishing Joshua's relaxed verbal patterns early, detectives later identify deviations, hesitations, over-explanations, and narrative drift as meaningful indicators rather than nerves.
All right. So, you work at Chase?
Yes.
How long have you worked at Chase?
May 7th was when I started. Yeah, May 7th. My wife's birthday, actually. That was my first day there.
It's kind of a new job.
Yeah. I actually, long story short,
Okay.
I injured myself in December. I actually was putting my firearm away in the car, and I decided to land on a Zephyr Hills water ball cap and go off my leg. So I was doing, when I moved back from New York last year,
Right.
I was doing a forklift mechanic with my cousins.
Okay.
Then after that, everything just stopped. I was home doing therapy, and then she was like, start working again. I'm like, all right. And then she sent me the rec to work for Chase.
You like working for Chase?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
One of the best jobs I've ever had.
What do you do at Chase?
Card collections, credit card collections.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So I,
You get hung up on a lot.
yes and no, but with our company, we have a lot of I'd say options instead of going to I guess a collections agency or debt consolidation. So Chase in itself has different avenues, I'd say, to go ahead and help people in debt.
Okay. Any military service?
I was in boot camp for a little bit, and then I actually got out for medical.
And you grew up in New York? Did I hear you say
I was
that?
born in Queens. From Queens, we moved to New Hampshire. From New Hampshire to here.
New Hampshire.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a little bit of a change.
Oh yeah, I loved it there though. The weather was I liked the land, the weather, but then after 9/11, the whole racial thing with my parents,
Yeah.
we moved down to Florida, and then I went up to New York for about a year, and then came back down in I think it was June of last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where were your parents from, if you don't mind me asking?
Parents are from Guyana.
Guyana?
Yeah.
So they kept on getting kind of
Yeah, it
confused
was-
for...
Yeah, they were.
Ugh.
My mom used to work, and my mom works in the banking environment too. And my dad, he used to work for a printing company, and I guess it was just the whole racism thing. Everybody's like, you're brown, so you're a terrorist over there.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Joshua is allowed to speak at length about his job, injury, gun accident, and personal history with minimal interruption. This reflects self-disclosure theory, which explains that individuals who believe they are controlling the narrative often overshare, unintentionally revealing inconsistencies. Detectives do not challenge these details immediately, allowing Joshua to commit to statements that will later conflict with evidence.
Okay. I don't know. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to throw this out to you. Why do you think you're sitting here right now?
I honestly have no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Okay. Have you... Well, let me ask you a question. What was the last bank account that you opened?
Bank of America.
Okay. In whose name?
In my name and Julian's name.
Okay. Tell me about that.
My wife came home.
Who'd you go with?
I went by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Which
Actually went to
branch did you go to?
The Ocoee branch.
Do you remember when that was?
I can't honestly remember.
This month? Last month?
No. It wasn't. It was probably a couple months. Trying to think. I think it was before I started working for Chase. I think.
Okay. So, make sure I understand you. Now, your wife is Amelia.
Mhm.
Bassoon is her last
Bassoon,
name, right?
yes.
Okay.
She hasn't changed her last name yet.
Okay. And she lives with you over there on Inca?
Correct. I put my previous address, which was 2533 Great Birch Drive.
Are you still associated with that address at all? Do
Yeah, well, that's my parents' house.
you still get mail there?
Yeah. I know I had my medical bills. Well, that's why I'm trying to change everything over
Sure.
now on Friday. Well, I was supposed to go tomorrow because, my medical bills from the hospital, insurance, I got to change over. I have to change over, all my handicap stuff. So all my therapy and everything, all my bills were going there. So I was like,
That can get expensive.
Oh my god, yeah.
You have insurance?
Yeah, I have
And
insurance.
did it cover it all?
Yeah, for the most part. It was like, I think, 2,000 something out of pocket I'd have to pay.
Rather than confronting Joshua with the full scope of the case, detectives introduce facts slowly. Bank accounts, timelines, phone usage. This aligns with the foot-in-the-door technique, where early, low-stakes admissions make later denials psychologically harder. By the time Joshua realizes the severity of the situation, he has already committed to a version of events he cannot cleanly abandon.
It's not what I mean. Well, my cousins are nice enough because I used to work for them.
Mm-hmm.
They were paying me, for a little while.
Oh, so they kept on paying you?
Yeah, they paid me for a little while.
So, the account that you opened, it was a checking account?
Yeah, I think it was a checking account.
Did you get any checks?
Yeah, I think we got some checks.
Did you get a debit card?
Yeah, I had a debit card.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has her own JC account. I don't know if she added me to both. I think she did. And then her and her dad have a TD account. I think it is. TD or Regions, one or the other.
Why do you think that?
I have no idea.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, did you... Well, okay, so, all right, let's walk through that a little bit. So you close the account. You go to Lake Mary and you close the account.
Yeah. Well, I told them, one, I didn't feel comfortable keeping the money there because they were trying to pressure me into opening an account for Julian for school. Because that money, I think there should be, from what I understand, money in the TD account with her and her dad to go ahead and pay for Julian's schooling next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were like telling me, you should invest in this and invest in that.
So they're trying to get you invested.
It is cold in here.
Jeez, it was so cold I fell asleep in here. I woke up and the lights are off and I was like, this has to be a sign.
Yeah. Okay. And what month was it that you closed it?
That was, let's see, June, I think.
Was it June?
Yeah, maybe. Let me see. The ending of May or early June, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she was doing. She said, I guess her manager was like, oh, that person's no longer going to be there or going to be gone for the week or something like that. So that's from what I understand. Let me see, from here. I just know that corporate security was talking to her at the branch and that was it. I mean, I really didn't hear back anything. I know she always goes sometimes they have her going to different branches.
Detectives repeatedly asked Joshua to place himself in time. Exact hours, sequences, and durations. This exploits temporal disorganization theory, which notes that fabricated narratives degrade when forced into pressure chronological structure. Joshua's repeated "I don't remember" responses are not neutral. They signal the breakdown of a constructed timeline under sustained scrutiny.
There was nothing else came up recently?
Not that I know of. I remember something. She was saying how somebody had called her from another branch regarding the same old guy. Somebody was questioning.
Do you know Joe?
No, I don't know him.
Do you know where he lives?
No.
You ever been to his house?
No.
That phone number you gave us, is that the only phone that you use?
Yeah.
No other phone numbers?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever use Amelia's phone?
Maybe once in a while, if that.
When was the last time you used Amelia's phone?
I have no idea. We don't really, I guess, use each other's phones.
Okay. Do you have Facebook?
Yeah, I actually deactivated it because I was just like tired of social media.
It gets that way sometimes. Yeah. When did you deactivate it?
I haven't. I know it was set to like 7 days or something like that to come back on and come back off. I know I have Facebook Messenger.
You do have Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
What's your name on Facebook?
It's same thing, Joshua Ramsamy.
The interrogation repeatedly returns to phones. Who used them, when they were off, and whose hands they were in. This tactic draws on digital behavioral attribution theory, where modern identity is inseparable from device data. By framing phone inactivity as a choice rather than coincidence, detectives transform silence into implied intent, tightening circumstantial pressure without accusation.
Do you want a firearm?
I did. I actually bought one last week, Monday. And that was a big argument between me and Blaine.
Okay. Can you tell me about it?
I actually bought it last week, I think Monday it was. Then that whole thing happened with Ocoee PD Tuesday, and she started bitching at me. She's like, why the fuck you're not a hero? This, that, and the third. And I was like, for me, I've always had a gun. I've had a Smith & Wesson. Always had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then after this whole situation, of course, Orange County had the gun. So I was like, we had a thunderstorm. I think it was like Sunday. And I was like, we saw a car pull up in the yard, or I did. And I was like, I don't know who it is. I put the light on, the car drove away. So I'm like, okay, fine. And I was like, things are getting a little crazy where we live. We need some type of protection in the house. And then she started bitching at me, and I'm like, oh my God. She was like, oh, what if that happens to you? What if you kill yourself again or injure yourself again? And I'm like, got into an argument, and I was like, fuck it. I was like, all right. And then I left the house. She was all bitching at me, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, I went back with my parents. And then, where did I go? Got into an argument. I know I ended up at Alchemy Hookah Lounge around like 11:30 that night. That was on Tuesday. I took a drive to Daytona, and I actually chucked the fucking gun over the damn bridge. I was like, fuck it. And she was like, what the hell did you do?
Okay, which bridge in Daytona did you throw the gun off?
On International Speedway or Parkway?
Did you pull over?
No, I was actually parked. I walked. I was just trying to clear my head, and I was just had like a relapse of what happened on my leg, and I was like, fuck this, and I just threw the gun.
What time is that at?
Probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Joshua's firearm is revisited obsessively. Purchase, argument, disappearance, and contradictory explanations. This reflects object salience theory, which explains how repeatedly emphasizing a single physical object can anchor suspicion, even without forensic proof. The gun becomes psychologically inseparable from the crime, making alternative explanations increasingly implausible.
We're contemplating that here and back and forth, and I was like, maybe that'll help our relationship, because we've been arguing a lot lately. And mainly because it was just like stuff around the house, not working for so long and stuff like that. So
I guess I'm just kind of, again, I'm trying to piece everything together, and I keep getting confused. Have you, again, make sure I understand you right, you don't know anybody in Gerald's family?
no.
Okay. Are we going to see any phone records of you contacting anybody in Gerald's family?
No, not that I know of.
Is it, well, yeah, let's see. Is it possible? Because if it is, it's we
Yeah.
can talk about it.
I mean,
And
unless
I mean,
Amelia used my phone, then no.
So if it was Amelia, use your phone.
Yeah,
Why would she have to use your phone to contact them?
I have no idea. Which I know she had my phone for a little bit on Saturday. I mean, sometimes, I'll leave my phone inside the house while I do yard work or work on my car.
But if she had access to her phone?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess I'm trying to, now again, is this something where we want to say that, do we want to, Josh, listen, we're here for something very, very serious, okay?
Okay.
And you have to understand something, okay? Your answers just aren't making any sense, all right? We've been doing this for a little bit. We know, we've been doing this for a while, okay?
Okay.
You seem like a very good guy. The little bit I'm talking to you, you're respectful and you're nice. And you got to understand, sometimes we have more answers than you know.
Yeah.
All right? We've asked you questions to see where you're at. Okay. If there's anything that you think we need to know, I mean, now's the time to tell us. Okay. There's probably a little bit more to this story. The whole thing, $50,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you have to be wondering why I'm asking about that. See, that's the funny thing. You haven't asked me yet. Like, why am I asking about that? Right. There's a lot going on here. Okay. And I need to understand from you where you were at. Okay.
Detectives repeatedly describe Joshua as a good guy, while outlining conduct that contradicts that image. This leverages cognitive dissonance theory, creating psychological discomfort between self-image and alleged actions. The tension pushes Joshua towards rationalization, explanation, and ultimately contradiction as he attempts to reconcile incompatible identities.
In this whole thing, and you gotta understand that right now, you being honest with us is the best thing in the world. Okay, we're your best friends here. Okay.
Okay.
You have to be able to explain your actions and what you did, and if we can't understand that, then it looks really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's walk through this a little bit. Okay. What are we missing?
Nothing that I know of. I mean, told you guys where I was, what I was doing. I mean, you could check our phone records too. We've been fighting for a long time.
Well, explain this to me, okay? How is it that you wound up at Cynthia's house, Cynthia's apartment over on Jefferson? Because I have eyewitnesses that put you there.
That I ended up there.
You're very, listen, let's, you have kind of a distinct look. You understand what I'm saying? And you have a distinct car. Well, not a distinct car. I should take that back. But I think it's telling that you said it was maroon. All right. Because that's, an eyewitness describes it as a maroon Nissan Altima with a guy that's your height, hair parted, 2 earrings, everything. You're there. Okay. I have no question about that. All right. So what we're trying to understand is why you were there. Why were you at Cynthia's place? And again,
I was never at her place.
Okay. All right.
And I don't even know where she, like I said, I don't know anything about Gerald's family. Nothing.
And you were never at his house either?
No.
You understand we have the notarized document, right? You know we were there when you went there with the notary. We have that document.
Yeah, well, I never physically met him.
Okay. You were in his house. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. But Cynthia, I was never at her house.
Listen to me. You have to understand something, okay? I'm sure you're probably scared right now, all right? Because you're not somebody that gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You have to understand, like I said, there's 2 sides to every story. All right? The eyewitness has no reason to lie.
Right.
Okay? And there's no point in that, okay?
When detectives introduce eyewitness identification, car description, physical appearance, they do so calmly and definitively. This reflects certainty projection theory, where confidence, not volume, destabilizes resistance. Joshua is forced to confront the reality that denial no longer delays consequence. It only deepens suspicion.
And I told her I found out about it. I talked to her, and then I guess I left maybe, I don't know, right before I went to 11 something, right before I went to Alchemy. And from what I understand, that was it.
So if I'm understanding you right, you're saying Amelia is the one that talked to somebody to take care of them?
Yeah, and I don't
Why?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, how do you know that?
Well, there was a kid that came to our house.
What's his name?
Jay something. I don't know his phone. I've seen him once at my house, and that was it. And that was for Amelia's birthday party.
Okay.
And she told me, how she's gonna talk to him to talk to her, to stay away from her. And I was like, it's not making sense, you know? Like, what's going on, or whatever. And then I went there, talked to the lady, talked to her son, you know.
How do you find this guy?
Find who?
This person that you talked to.
Oh, how do you find him? I can give you, I think I have his phone number.
Okay.
It's some guy I know his name is Jay Persad or something like that.
Okay. And
Because
okay, well, explain this to me. How does this go? Okay, so I'm trying to understand this. So Amelia's so scared about this and worried about this, and you explain to me. So who kept on calling her and wouldn't leave her alone?
I think it was the same Cynthia lady. I didn't ask any questions. She said, "Oh, somebody keeps calling me." She said one of Gerald's families. I said, "Okay, that's fine. Maybe it's Gerald's son, because Gerald's son stole money from her."
I heard about that. Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, fine." But then I think then some kid came up to our house like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I know she gave him some money or something like that. And then he texted me about money, and I'm like, "What are you talking?"
She gave him $10,000 to what?
I have no idea. And from my understanding,
What do you think she gave him $10,000 for?
To kill him or something. I don't know.
As pressure mounts, Joshua introduces additional actors. Jay, unnamed gunman, drug schemes. Detectives allow this expansion because it triggers narrative complexity collapse. A phenomenon where deceptive stories become less believable as they require more moving parts. Each new character weakens the narrative credibility rather than strengthening it.
Her brother stole money from Gerald. And long story short, how that she was just like, "Oh, how Gerald doesn't trust anybody." And I told her that, and I said, "Okay, that's fine." And then, I mean, she was talking to me for a while about everything. Like,
Was Sean talking to you too?
Yeah, once in a while. He was just saying how it was like how he's trying to find a job, and he used to be a cashier or something like that from where
Okay. Well, how did he know when you left?
Josh,
listen to me. Again, I'm looking at you. I see you're nervous, and I see
cold.
Yeah, I know I'm cold too, but I can see, there's some stuff. All right. I don't think you're somebody that is. I don't think you have a. I'm gonna say it, like a mean bone or anything like that. You seem like a very nice, soft-spoken kind of guy, and I'm sure that there's probably some stuff that's eating at you. And some of the stuff that you want to get off your chest. I mean, you talked to your sister a couple of days ago. There's some stuff. Listen, Joshua, this isn't going away. Okay. Some of the stuff you said here, it gives us a lot of pause. All right. Remember, I told you that if there's a reason why, if you were scared and you did something that was a mistake and you probably shouldn't have done, then that's something we need to know, because that explains a lot. All right. Right now, I just, if you explain why, that goes so far. You understand what I'm saying? It goes so far, and it helps people understand where you were. If you were in a bad place and bad, frame of mind, that changes the ball game. You understand what I'm saying?
Statements like, "This doesn't go away," introduce inevitability cognition, a concept rooted in learned helplessness theory. By removing the illusion of avoidance, detectives push Joshua toward the realization that resistance only worsens outcomes, while cooperation is the only variable still within his control.
The same guy that Amelia paid him. He messaged me on Snapchat, "Oh, there's $9,000, $10,000 more." And I was like, maybe he's trying. At first, I thought it was maybe he's trying to sell drugs or something to get the money back. Simple. And the same guy came up to my car. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I wanted to talk to her to get the money back." And he's like, "Oh, Amelia or Jay sent me here." I'm like, "Sent you here for what?" And he was like, he had a gun to my head. And he said, he's like, I know you have a gun. Give me your gun and leave. I left and went to Alchemy. Didn't throw the gun over the pier. He had the gun. I went back to Alchemy. I drove to Daytona. Came back home at like 5:30 in the morning. And that was it.
Josh, why did you put a gun in your head and take your gun?
I don't know. All I know is Amelia paid them $10,000.
To put a gun to your head and take your gun?
I don't know why she paid them. I don't even know why.
Well, before you said you thought they paid him to shut her up. Is what you told me.
Yeah,
so now you're saying you don't know.
That could have been.
So why would they have? Okay, so why would they have to come to you, right?
I don't know. I guess they
put a gun in your head and take your gun.
Figured they weren't like. They figured that I wasn't gonna be there or go talk to her or something.
Wait, Josh. You know you're making this hole that much bigger. You know that. That doesn't make any sense to anybody, Josh. All right? It just doesn't. No. Okay? I mean, how would these people know where to find you, and then all of a sudden they found you and took your gun? To do what? To frame you?
I mean, you could call the kid.
What was the kid going to say?
He said he had people to go ahead and shut her up or something like that.
Doesn't it make more sense? You know, no. It just doesn't make any sense.
Rather than dismantling each lie individually, detective allow contradictions to accumulate until the story collapses under its own weight. This relies on threshold incoherence theory, where belief fails once inconsistencies exceed what listeners can reasonably reconcile. At this point, even truthful elements lose credibility.
You could check our neighbor's cameras. I got home at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't get home at 9 o'clock in the morning. Both of our neighbors that live to the left of us, and another guy that has a pigeon farm or coop.
Was it exactly 6:30 or close to 6:30?
Close to 6:30.
After?
I don't think after. Because her mom was still home. Because her mom usually leaves early to go to work.
And you, from Daytona Beach, you went straight home?
Yeah, I took...
Did you happen to drive by the house again?
No. From Daytona, I took, what did I take? I took I-4, I took Lee Road all the way down to John Young, made a right on 50, and came home.
Why would these people who you paid $10,000 to, so you're funding them, paying them $10,000, obviously to take care of a problem, right? You needed to, you guys were desperate enough. I mean, money's tight enough. You guys are desperate enough to pay somebody, and you're there, so you're part of the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what is being said. Why would somebody that you're paying $10,000 to take the time and energy to take your gun away from you to put it to possibly use it?
I don't know.
And your name's on that gun. You bought that gun from a pawn shop. Your name's on that gun. So they're going to take it. Now, assuming the gun that they have probably isn't registered to them, I would think. Why would they use that gun that they took from you?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Is your relationship with Amelia so bad that she would pick Jay Prasad over you?
No, I just know No, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Well, again, here's the problem, okay? It's a big problem. And I've told you, I mean, we can only do this for so long. Your chances of explaining yourself and explaining how, if this was something that got out of hand, and this wasn't something that you planned, it wasn't something that you put into effect as far as,
I just went there to talk to them.
Okay.
That was it.
Detectives present Joshua with only two interpretive paths: panic-driven loss of control or cold premeditation. This reflects choice architecture theory, where limiting perceived options steers decisions. By offering an emotionally safer narrative, detectives subtly invite partial admission without explicitly demanding confession.
Okay.
And before I left, I was confronted by a guy when I was in my car about to leave.
Where exactly did that happen at?
Inside the right in front of her apartment.
Was it when both times I went to the Walgreens, were they in Jay's car?
Yeah.
What kind of car does he have?
He has a charcoal gray Infiniti G37.
Okay. And is that the car that this guy came out of when they confronted you and took your gun?
No, he walked up to me.
Oh, okay.
He said they were watching me since I was there.
Okay.
If you took a polygraph right now, would it show that you told the truth?
Yeah.
About what?
About me going there talking to them, my gun being taken away from me, and me going to Alchemy, and me going to Daytona.
And if they asked you if you shot those people, what would it show?
That I'm telling the truth and I didn't do that.
All right. We'll be back in just a minute then. We're going to go talk to her some more then.
Time is now approximately 16:30 hours.
Blanket or something?
Yeah, well, I think my one partner tried to find you one.
It's cold.
All right, buddy. We'll be back. We'll get you.
But all I know, like I said, I got there, talked to her. I called Amelia at 11 something. She didn't answer. I talked to her cousins and I said, hey, do you know where Amelia is? No. I said, all right, I'm going to go hang out. That's when I was confronted.
Justin, just before we leave, this is what I would tell you, okay? In this situation, when down the line, people are trying to figure out the punishment, who gets punished for this, they want to see a couple of things. And of course, the truth's one thing, remorse is another. But the things you're telling us, we have to do our jobs and we're going to check it out.
That's fine.
If it shows that you were lying, and this goes for Amelia too.
Yeah.
If this shows that you were lying and that you were trying to bring some innocent person in
No,
this,
I'm telling you now, you could check the cameras. You could, I don't know if the cameras could see.
well, like I
inside
said,
the
you
car.
may have been there. Like I said, but and that's right, that you very well could have met with Jay and this guy. Okay. But the problem is that gun thing for you right now.
Yeah.
Okay. That one's, and the fact that you were we had a neighbor ID you, right? That Nissan Altima, describe you to a T.
Because I was there.
Yeah. That's why we knew you were there. We knew that you were there. And then you conveniently don't have your phone on. I mean, those things all add up to a lot of smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And, but like I said, we're not going to be unfair to you. That you've told us, you've told us something.
By the final phase, detectives isolate Joshua not physically, but cognitively. His story stands alone, unsupported by evidence, contradicted by witnesses, and diverging from Amelia's account. This reflects social isolation stress theory, where perceived abandonment accelerates emotional exhaustion. The interrogation ends not with confession, but with narrative collapse, often the final precursor to it.
Better?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, Josh, and I know Detective Ferrer feels, I think both of us are totally baffled after talking with both you and your wife for the whole day. How two people like you end up in a situation like this.
It's a shitty situation, and I hate to say it.
And it's compounded by the fact that one of you is trying to send the other one to prison for the rest of their lives, because you're telling totally different stories.
And that's what I've said. Like, you could check our phones. She talked to Jay regarding either taking care of two people or taking care of the issue, and we paid him, specifically him, $10.
Detective Brian Ferrer, the Atlanta Police Department. Detective Michael Morris is also present. We are back into room 4 on July 26, 2018 at approximately 17:55 hours. We were back talking to Mr. Joshua. How do you say your last name?
Ram Sammy, the W.
Ram Sammy. Okay. All right. You remember you've been sworn in and you understand that,
Yes.
your rights are still in place and everything. Okay. So obviously we want to follow up with you because, we went back and talked to Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, we're just trying to understand. She's saying one thing, you're saying another, and we think probably the truth's somewhere in the middle. You understand what we're saying?
Yeah.
Truth somewhere in the middle. The fact of the matter is the investigation is not going to stop. Okay, you understand that, right?
Yeah.
and you understand that, okay, so now we know who Jay is, and we're going to talk to Jay, all right? And let's put it all on the table for a second here, okay? What are you and Jay normally dealing with? What have you dealt with in the past?
Nothing.
Nothing.
My wife has been his friend since before we got together.
Okay.
More than 7 years ago.
You two ever exchange any drugs?
No. Never.
Have you ever sold any of your pain medication that you got since you shot yourself in the leg?
By stating that Amelia is telling a different story, detectives invoke social comparison theory. Joshua is forced to measure his position against his spouse's perceived cooperation. The fear of being the sole party blamed increases psychological urgency, encouraging reactive storytelling rather than measured responses.
It's too long. I know you're cold.
Okay.
Hey, you need to talk. You need to get out from underneath this big time.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you who they work for?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're homicide detectives, so.
I know.
And they want you to be a witness, not a suspect.
Okay.
So the only way it's going to happen is you got to talk to them.
That's why I want to talk to them, because I just don't want to be involved in any of this. Like,
Okay.
I don't want any part of this. I want to be able to go home.
Okay.
Yes.
What didn't you tell them?
Basically said like what he did or if anything was done.
Did he say he shot him?
Well, I'm guessing he had his gun, so.
Don't guess. Did he tell you that he shot him?
Yes.
He said he shot him.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he go?
Oh, I don't know. He didn't say anything.
But he said he shot him. Who did he say he shot?
He said he shot the lady and the kid.
And the kid. Okay. And then after that's when he put his clothes in the bag and then took the gun and left.
He put everything in like a clear.
So he knew he killed him.
Who?
You knew he killed him.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the moment detectives quietly lock the case in place. Amelia isn't speculating anymore. She's recounting. When she says he told her he shot the lady and the kid, the line between suspicion and foreknowledge disappears. From a legal standpoint, that single admission establishes post-crime awareness, which is critical in proving conspiracy rather than ignorance.
And
His defense is going to be,
mm-hmm.
it was your idea. So this is something you need to get out from underneath this, because obviously he ain't gonna do anything but to protect himself.
Of course.
All right. So when did you know he was going to go over there and shoot him?
When I got home for lunch the day before.
The day before. You knew he was going over to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why?
How did you know?
Oh, he told me.
He said, I'm going to go shoot him?
He didn't say that. He said, I'm going to handle the situation.
Okay, but did he mention the word shooting?
No.
Okay, did he have the gun and say, I'm going to go handle the situation? What makes you think he was going over there to shoot him prior to it happening?
Well, I mean, why purchase a gun the day before and then say that you're going over there? That was kind of like where I was confused at.
Very logical thinking.
Yeah.
And so
And
from
then
him buying the gun and what he said, you
put two and two together.
He was going there. Okay.
And then
after, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He told me if I say anything, then he'll kill me too.
And this is after you knew he shot him.
Yes.
Okay, well, you ain't got to worry about that. About him trying to hurt you. Because he's never going to see the light of day again.
Okay.
But when they come back in here, sweetie, everything,
Okay.
even if you think it's bad for you, I'm telling you, not saying it is worse.
Okay.
So even if you think that maybe you said something that you think's really bad, I'm telling you, coming out later is not a good thing. It needs to come out now, because the person that pulled the trigger is who we want.
Of course.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just don't want anyone to think that I didn't know that it was gonna, I didn't know that this was gonna happen. Why would he do something like, it's just like, why would you do something so stupid? And it's just two innocent people. It's just, why?
Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm going to get them. They're talking to someone right now. But I'm going to have them come here and talk to you, okay?
And then put me in the middle of this. The child.
I know. Don't worry. I'll be back in a minute. Okay?
Here, detectives force Amelia to confront timing, not after the murders, but the day before, when she admits she knew he was going to handle the situation, and connects it to the gun purchase. Intent becomes inferable, In court, this sequence matters. Knowledge plus opportunity equals complicity, even without pulling the trigger.
We hate to laugh, but it's like it's been going on all day
Why?
between you and your
Tell
wife.
me why. Why would you go over there and try and talk to her? Why would you talk to Amelia about paying her back?
Because they're two innocent people. Like,
Okay, did you make any efforts to call Jay and tell him not to do it and we want the money back and we're going to go pay her?
no, I would no.
No, why not? Why?
I don't know.
You don't know? That's the best answer you have? I don't know?
All I know is I went there.
No, it's not all you know. Stop saying that. Amelia knew exactly why you were there. Amelia knew exactly where to look for you. Pretty funny, don't you think? I mean, the fact of the matter is your phone is off. Why? Because you went there. Because if it was so innocent in the first place, you would have told us about it. But you didn't. So Amelia knew where to go look for you. And there's a reason why they were asking where your gun was. Jesus Christ, even your sister's asking about this.
The baby daddy problems, and
She says you're abusive, mentally and physically. I mean, that's the picture she's painting of you, Josh.
I'm not.
I hate to burst that bubble for you, but we asked her about that, and she used as an excuse for some of the things that went on. She said that you are abusive. You threatened to kill her entire family if she talked about this. So that's the picture that she's painting of you.
And that's not me. I mean, that blows my mind.
No.
That blows my
Both of what you have said today blows my mind.
That blows my mind.
But this doesn't look good for you, Josh. But we're going to do our jobs. And just know that.
And I want you guys to.
And that could end up with you going to jail for murder. Because again, there's a lot of things here. I'm not a big believer in coincidences. Neither one of us are, But you think about all those things that you got going against you at this point in this case, that you're there, that you have a gun, that's got missing, you're unaccounted for, you absolutely have a motive. You've already tried to make some half-assed attempt to have these people killed or to regenerate some more money. I mean, there's just a lot of problems.
By this stage, Joshua's story isn't evolving, it's unraveling. Each new explanation contradicts the last, forcing detectives to stop chasing answers and start documenting inconsistencies. Legally, that matters. Jurors don't need a perfect confession, only a pattern showing motive, preparation, and deception collapsing under its own weight. In this interrogation, detectives systematically dismantled Joshua Ramsawmy's narrative by isolating inconsistencies and confronting him with evidence, including eyewitness accounts and digital activity. Through calibrated questioning, they strip away deflection and compel him to reconcile contradictory statements about his whereabouts, use of his phone, and the missing firearm. Legally, the detectives achieve critical admission, such as being at the victim's residence and involvement with suspicious cash and communications. While exposing implausible explanations that erode credibility, these strategic pressure points will strengthen the prosecution's case by building a record of unreliable testimony, tying Ramsawmy to the scene and establishing motive and consciousness of guilt in anticipation of trial. Joshua Ramsawmy was convicted for his role in the July 2018 murders of Cynthia Stack, 52, and her son Sean, 22, in Orlando, Florida. After law enforcement tied him to the killings, evidence showed the murders were linked to a scheme of defraud the victim's family out of money. In sentencing, Ramsawmy received life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for his conviction, reflecting the severity of 2 counts of first-degree murder with a firearm in the deaths of an innocent mother and her adult son. In contrast, Amelia Bissoon, who cooperated with prosecutors in Ramsawmy's case, received a significantly lighter sentence, approximately 3 years in prison plus 15 years of probation, due to her plea agreement and cooperation with the state. These outcomes illustrate how cooperation and culpability influence sentencing in capital crimes.